Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Steve with Real Progressives. It's a little earlier in the day. Got off work a little early today and felt like it was important to have this opportunity to speak with you all. We've been watching. We've been watching, probably for the course of our lives, been conditioned to believe that we not only don't deserve good things, we don't deserve nice things, but we can't afford nice things. And that whole mindset has been kicked to the average person in terms of the way their household finance works. Most of us are living hand to mouth, week to week, check to check. And, any blip in the economy whatsoever would destroy our families' lives, would literally destroy us. Most people do not have enough fat in their wallet to be able to survive a downturn in the economy, even for 5 minutes. But here we are. We've got a situation where, as a nation, we have bought into the belief system that we don't deserve nice things. We've bought into the belief system that that whole bootstrap mentality. But the problem is, and this is a huge problem, we have allowed austerity to happen right under our noses without even realizing it, because we don't understand that money doesn't grow on rich people. Money comes from the federal government. The federal government being the issuer of the dollar. That means that when we sit there and we try to get money from the rich in order to pay for stuff, we're basically shitting on every opportunity we have to actually get anything. Okay. Now, back in the day when I was a right-winger, a lot of what we would hear was, oh, you guys, you lefties, you just want free stuff. You just want free stuff from the government. What are they going to do? Dangle free stuff for you, right? So you watch Democrats and, reflexively, and no, we don't want free stuff. That's not what we're trying to get is free stuff. And they stumble all over it. Well, I'm here to tell you that once you start calling it free stuff, and once you're talking about giving it to certain people and not other people, now all of a sudden you set the stage for people scowling down their nose at anyone who receives assistance, because we've created it like a handout to the average person. But the reality is that we have the ability and the resources to provide citizen benefits across the board. And you've probably heard me say a lot of this stuff before. Problem, and this is a big problem, everywhere our movement looks, we see nonsense about Ivanka or Melania Trump or Donald Trump. We see stuff about his comb over. We see stuff about anything but the things that we actually need today. Okay? Now, I'm setting the stage for something that I think is very important. I've talked about this many times. I'm completely happy to share this experience. As a recovering alcoholic, somebody who used to drink many, many years ago, I've got over 10 years sobriety. And when I walked into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, they told me, Steve, you never have to drink again. Now, if you're an alcoholic and you've never heard somebody tell you that you never have to drink again, that's going to sound crazy, because you can't imagine a minute without drinking when you're an alcoholic. When you're an alcoholic, the idea of never drinking is far too much to handle. So they tell you one day at a time, take it one day at a time, just keep it simple, stupid. The same man will drink again. They got all these great slogans, right? And by the way, hello, everyone. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that we tend to fear that which sounds strange to us. And we tend not to dig in too deeply because we don't see how it relates to us. And when those people told me I never had to drink again, it didn't hit me at first. I didn't believe them at first. But they told me that quitting drinking for an alcoholic is a matter of life and death. They said that if you're going to try to put your toe in the water and you're going to try and taste test your way through AA, it's not going to work, Steve. You got to shit or get off the pot, because half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point, right? I mean, just, using some old lingo for some of you out there that might understand where I'm coming from here. Well, once that light bulb went on, I realized that I didn't have to worry about drinking anymore, because I knew I didn't have to drink anymore. And so each day I'd wake up and remind myself, hey, I don't feel like today's a good day to die, so I'm not going to drink. When it comes to federal finance, and I tell you that we can afford anything that we want, when I tell you we can solve for green energy today, people look at me like I'm crazy. Because Jill Stein even put up there in 30 years. Jill Stein of the Green Party said 30 years. Bernie Sanders, they're all like, 50 years, whatever. I'm saying we can do this stuff today. And the reason we can do this today is because we literally have our own bank. We are our own creator of our own US dollar. And for debts denominated in US dollars, we can never go broke. So when we say to ourselves, hey, people are dying from a lack of medical care, people sit there and say, oh, Steve, you're fanatical about this MMT stuff. And I say, no, friends. The light bulb's on. The light bulb is on. Because modern monetary theory, which really, just to be fair, is a description of literally how our federal financing works today, not in some other universe, not when we implement MMT, not if we someday adopt MMT, not if, I wonder if we'll ever do MMT. Folks, we are literally doing MMT today. You never hear them say, well, how are we going to pay for that war? You never hear them say, well, how are we going to pay for a bank bailout? You never hear them say, well, how are you going to pay for the GM bailout? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? You never, ever, you never hear them say, well, shit, we're going to have inflation if we go to war. My God, if we go and bomb Syria, we're going to have inflation because we bought all those U.S. bombs with U.S. dollars. Where'd those U.S. dollars come from? We printed the money? No, folks, they're keystroked into existence. So when I tell you that people are dying today for a lack of health care, when I tell you that they're literally dying today for a lack of access to health care, not health insurance, health care. They can't afford the fucking deductible. When I tell you that people are dying today, people lose their minds. Not about the people dying, ironically, but the worthless ones say, what about inflation? What, are you going to just print money? I'm not going to print any more money than the money we printed for bombs, you fool. I'm not going to sit there and get the printer going. I'm going to keystroke deposits to make sure people don't die from a lack of fucking health care. How is this hard to understand? How is this even slightly hard to understand? Straight up, how is this remotely hard to understand? You're not dumb, are you? You're not stupid, are you? No, you're not. You've got a blocker in there. You're the alcoholic that doesn't realize that they can choose to never drink again. You're the alcoholic that doesn't realize you never have to drink again. And so you sit there and you relapse and you relapse and you relapse because you don't realize that you never have to drink again. But forever is too much to worry about. 20 trillion in debt is too much to worry about. 20 this and this and this, all this stuff is too much. So if you just look at it like this very, very small thing, just for today, I'm not going to have a drink. Just for today, I'm not going to put that alcohol to my lips. Just this one day, I'm going to choose life over death. If you look at it in small increments and you realize that the United States not only can never go broke, but its dollar is only pegged to the full faith and credit of the United States government, and it is driven by taxation. It isn't the petrodollar any more than when we buy bananas, it's the banana dollar. Any more than when we buy syringes, it's the syringe dollar. Any more than we buy pot, it's the weed dollar. Okay? It's very important to never, ever, ever forget that the United States is monetarily sovereign, meaning it's king of the dollar. It creates its own money out of thin air by keystrokes. It doesn't require your hard-earned tax dollars to spend. A government that creates its own money does not require an income. It's not stealing your hard-earned tax dollars because, quite frankly, if it wanted to steal, it literally could print more money and give it to its buds. It could keystroke. It could do all kinds of stuff. All kinds of bad things can happen. They could happen. I could grow a toe on my forehead if I waded in toxic waste. I could, but I'm not going to. Okay? There are a lot of checks and balances in the system. But more importantly, though, let's just say you're worried about all these things. Let's just for the sake of today, one day at a time, one small argument at a time, one topic at a time, let's move all the fraud and corruption and all the bizarro world fringe ideas you can come up with to ask me weird questions. Let's take all the strange, bizarre stuff and shove it over here for a minute. And let's just focus on today. You and I could go broke in a heartbeat if we got cancer. If we had a cataclysmic event happen, we could go broke today for health care. We could. We could literally be underwater in Florida and not have a response to it because of climate change. We could literally be poisoning our children with bad water, I don't know, like Flint, Michigan maybe, because we choose not to spend money. We could literally make somewhere like Puerto Rico a slave nation because we refuse to fund our territories because they're in debt, because they're a net importer, and their money is leaving their little island community, and there's no new money coming in, not enough to offset the money leaving. So Puerto Rico is broke. So is Michigan. So is Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So is so many other local communities and states. Today, right here, right now, because they cannot produce their own dollar. They require the federal government to step in instead of saving banks, instead of saving automobile industries. Not that it matters. It's not a choice. You don't have to choose. That's the thing. You don't have to make a big, God, I'll have to cut my wrist if I don't make the right choice here. No, we can do it today. We could bail out Puerto Rico. We could wipe out their debt. We could wipe out the student loan debt completely and do away with all usury that is taking place right now. We could literally do a federal job guarantee today and end involuntary unemployment forever if we wanted to, with all the benefits that we've talked about, Medicare for all. Or even better, just like outright, we can do anything our imagination allows us to because we have the resources to do it. The day that our resources are tapped, in other words, we have full employment, we don't have enough products or services to meet demand, etc., then we've got to slow things down a little bit. But we are nowhere near that. We are so far removed from that, it's not funny. And rather than try to suck Hershey back into the U.S. so people can wrap the Hershey's Kisses with the twists, we could be putting good blue-collar work to work today, rebuilding our nation's infrastructure, like bridges, like our roadways, like fixing every government facility in the U.S., every school in the U.S., every single playground in the U.S. Every child should be able to go to music class if they want to. Every child should be able to go to gym every day of the week and not worry about costs of having physical education, which is so critical for a child's development. We could make sure every human being in America and around the world, quite frankly, has a healthy belly full of food. We could make sure every homeless person has food and shelter. This is not pie in the sky. This is the thing that makes this guy who walked in to AA to some sweaty, hairy-backed, 40-year sober sponsor who gave me the big sweat pig hug and told me I never had to drink again. And I thought he was fucking nuts. This is the same hug of love I'm giving each of you right now. And that same man who loved me as my sponsor and told me I never had to drink again, that same guy also told me to take the cotton out of my fucking ears and shove it squarely in my mouth when I didn't have something important to say. He said, shut your mouth. You've got nothing to say. Listen. It's your turn to listen, Steve. And I would sit there in AA meetings with my head down, go, gosh, I guess I don't have anything to say. But I needed to listen. I didn't have the answers. I've paid dearly to get the answers, folks. None of this shit is just some academic exercise for me. I've been extremely honest with every person out there telling you my life story. And some worthless people have decided to try and attack me for that. Some worthless people have talked about me being a former Republican. And some worthless people have talked about me being a former libertarian. And the reality of me telling you that is so you understand that I came from there. So all your bullshit about gold standard, all your bullshit about cutting spending, I've already been there, done that, read the sequel, realized it does not work, and abandoned ship. For the worthless one that said that, Lily, by name Lily, worthlessly smeared my name. For you, I know that you don't care if people live or die. You're more trapped in your bullshit little world where people pat you on the back in your frigging soap opera version of politics, where you don't realize that I'm literally fighting for the entirety of Bernie Sanders' agenda. What are you doing? Talking about Donald Trump? How worthless. What are you doing? You're talking about bullshit. Literal bullshit. I'm sitting here telling you this is how we fund a progressive revolution. And we don't wait 60 years for people to finally get health care because you want to worry about tax and spend gains. I'm saving lives. You're fucking killing them. You're fucking killing them. Shame on you. Shame on you, you murderer by proxy. Or in your case, because you don't even, you use a Daily Kos, fucking a blog by an anonymous writer you use as your defense against saving lives? Are you daft? Are you fucking stupid? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm here, one day at a time, as a progressive, fighting for a new deal, not powwows about Donald Trump's comb-over. I'm fighting for a new deal, and I'm trying to get people like yourself who I would like to abandon the idiocy and come join to help us save lives. 45,000 people every year die from suicide because of unemployment. I'm talking about a federal job guarantee. You're talking about Donald Trump's comb-over. Worthlessly about Donald Trump. I'm talking about retrofitting every smokestack in the nation, making every car green ready today. We could do it now. And what are you doing? Powwows with the club? Worthless. I am telling you right now, there is a way of substance, and I'm offering it. I'm telling you literally how the shit gets done. And you're like, a cult? Are you fucking out of your mind? A cult? When did reality become a cult? Because you and the Mean Kids Club decided it's a cult? Is that what you decided? You decided that because you don't understand, and you don't, you decided it's a cult. How worthless of you. The cult is the cult of, I don't understand, so it must be a cult. That's the cult. The real cult is, I am a control the record, correct the record, hillbot, showbot, dem and her fool, telling people things because I don't understand what he's saying, so it's got to be a cult. How dare you be that stupid? That's shameful. That is shameful. What an abomination. Let me tell you what a cult is. A cult is living in a lie, which is what you're teaching by not understanding economics. That's a cult. A cult is living a lie. You're living a lie. You're speaking a lie. You're preaching a lie. You're steering people away from the truth. That makes you a cult leader. Or just another puke in the friggin' ant farm. You take your pick. The hive mentality is ridiculous. I'm here to save lives. And if that somehow or another rubs you the wrong way, well, may I suggest you get on board with the facts and stop posting up anonymous blogs to put your little peacock out there so everybody has to sit there and go, oh, you're so smart. God, you're just so smart. What a great leader. What a genius. Brilliant. The only far right-wing person here is the cultist who is sitting there preaching austerity, not realizing that they're preaching austerity because they don't understand what they're talking about. They're speaking beyond their knowledge level, and that is shameful. Shameful. An abomination. The only cult is the cult of, I don't understand it, so it totally must be stupid or something. I don't understand what they're saying. They're saying something I don't understand, so it's stupid. Now, the people that say things are stupid. I went to school and I was a friggin' straight A kid for years and years and years. And then pieces of shit sat there and tormented the good kids. Pieces of shit ganged together and tormented the kids that did good on their tests. Pieces of shit tormented the kid that didn't have the nice clothes to go to school. Pieces of shit sat there and tormented them and teased them Oh, what are you going out with that fag? What are you going out with this fag? What are you going out with that person, this person, that person? Yes, that whole oh, if you put any MMT on my wall, you'll be blocked. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You are a murderer and you don't even realize it. You are condemning people to die by you sitting there slow playing, getting a new deal done. At no point have I said we shouldn't tax. We should tax, but the taxation is not tied to spending. The urgency is measured in lives. If you don't get this, that's okay. You can be a student, but you must relinquish any pretense of being a teacher. When you break out an anonymous blog from the Daily Kos to try and knock down the PhDs and doctors and every frickin' person from Bill Black, Stephanie Kelton, Warren Mosley, freaking L. Randall Ray, you name it. When you sit there and you break out a friggin' anonymous blog from the Daily Kos, you have forsaken any credibility you ever had. We could have all these things today. And we could worry about soaking the rich after people's lives are saved. But no, you would rather sit there and obfuscate the truth because it's above your knowledge level. You don't get it. You don't understand. So it's got to be stupid and crazy. It must be a cult. Must be a cult, huh? The cult of stupid. The cult of I don't get it, so it must be stupid. You know, all the people that sat there and taunted the smart kids in school. Oh, what are they doing? That stupid homework thing or something? What are they doing? That stupid homework thing? That stupid homework thingy? What are you talking about? There's some stupid economic thingy that'll never happen? Well, it's already here, and you're letting the rich kill us. You're letting them pull the fucking wool over our eyes that somehow or another we need the rich to survive. Oh my God, we can't do anything. The great powerful United States is completely and utterly useless to help regular people in the United States because Lily thinks that we should fucking get rid of the truth and go to this bullshit lie. Think about how stupid that is. It's time to wake up. I don't want to be your enemy. Trust me, I need every single progressive in the entire movement, even the weak-willed ones that voted for Hillary. I need every one of them to understand that in order to have a New Deal, in order to have a Green New Deal, we have got to learn how to play the game that the friggin' oligarchs are playing. We've got to learn how to use the system to benefit the 99% and not be worthless. And talk, well, I don't understand it, so it's got to be stupid. The only stupid person is the one that doesn't understand, but has an opinion, has even fucking got an opinion. If you don't understand, do the goddamn homework, start saving some lives. Stop being lazy. This is within your grasp. This is something you have control over doing. You can learn. You can choose to be in the solution and save lives. You can choose to do that. You can absolutely choose to be in the living moment, to save lives, to save our planet from destruction. But instead, you would rather talk about cult leaders, cultists, the cult of reality. It's time for you and everybody else for that matter. It's not just you. You just happen to be the fool that put it up on your page. It's time for everyone to fight like mad and demand that they give us Medicare for all now. That they demand get us free college and eradicate student debt now. Get angry, damn it. Do not let them keep doing this to us. People are dying. Suicides are through the fucking roof. But you are cult leader. Murderer by proxy. That's what I got to say to that. Now, I'm not here to hate you. I'm here to wake you up. If you go around telling people it's a cult and shit like that, and you ignorantly and worthlessly bring out a frickin' Daily Kos anonymous blog to block knowledge for regular people because they're too fucking lazy too, they want to make sure they're on your good side. So they yes you. Oh, you're so great. You're so smart. Daily Kos for sure. Best economics blog ever. Like for sure and stuff. It's time to wake up. I don't hate anyone. I want to save lives. Do you? It really is in your hands. And it really isn't me, not me, us. All the same shit from back in the primaries. Doesn't matter if you're a Jill person, doesn't matter if you're a Bernie person, doesn't matter if you're freaking anything. Even a Hillbot. The truth is the truth is the truth. It has nothing to do with partisan politics. Start being an agent of change. Be a revolutionary. Start fighting for truth. What we're talking about is going to provide human beings freedom. The people trapped in Flint, Michigan with shitty water, they could leave with a federal job guarantee, with benefits and everything, and Flint would have to take care of its business if it wanted anybody to live there anymore. It's time to learn economics and not be a part of the mean kids club anymore. Stop being a bully in your own little bullshit. Because trust me, when I say this, I'm willing to hit back. Because I'm out there fighting for people. I'm fighting to save lives. I'm not fighting for dem enter. Like Kelly. Like for sure and stuff. I'm fighting to save lives. Get with the program. Lead, follow, or get the fuck out of the way. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. I'm out.